we're live. You don't have to embarrass yourself, but I found
You felt great humor at my.
it's not great humor. Obviously, you could hurt yourself. We talked about that via email
I could.
about
I mean,
how much you can hurt yourself.
legit. Okay, so well, let me tell the story.
Okay.
So I have a hammock in my backyard, and I go sit in the hammock. It's nice to sit in at night,
Hmm.
in the evening or whatever. And I've had it, and and I'm well aware of the dangers of a hammock. So I got nice, good straps. Well, I left my hammock up last year, and I probably shouldn't have. Last year I took it down during the winter, but our winter was so mild.
Right.
Well, at least at the start, and so I left it up, and uh, and it got ruined. I came out one day, and it was,
Just
the
realized it
rope.
was rotten.
Well, the ropes were broke, some of the
Okay.
ropes. So I don't
Okay.
know if something fell on. I think a stick fell on it or a limb. And anyway, so I knew it was in bad shape. So I ordered me another one. Well, this one I'd been given by my brother. So I looked and I go, God, the hammocks are expensive. Well, I what I bought was kind of more like a camping hammock, something small.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, well, I don't sit in it that much. I can just sit in it. Well, it didn't have what they call a spreader bar, which means it's got a stick at
Yeah.
either end.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Right.
just kind
It's
of, and I thought, well, that's no big deal. I've had hammocks like this before. Well, it was kind of nylon, it was lightweight, and I sat in it, and I knew, like, you got to watch your balance in this thing. It doesn't have
yeah.
the stability of the other one.
Yeah.
And so Michelle came home last Friday, and we were outside watching the dog, and I sat in the hammock, and I realized I was off balance. I started to fall backwards, and when you fall, I don't know if you've fallen. This is the second time I've fallen
Oh, yeah. I've
recently.
fallen a couple of times.
When you fall, it starts off real slow and then it gets real fast at the end.
Oh, yeah.
and,
It's over. It's
and
over before you know it.
once you and I fell on the ground, but my legs were like up in the air in the hammock, and so
Hmm.
I got dumped right on my head. Well, I think, which is what I reported to you, but I think I actually hit kind of the side of my upper trapezius. I don't
Uh-huh.
think I even hit my neck, but I laid there and I was like, "Oh my!" I mean, well, first off, my legs
Stunned
were.
you.
I was a little stunned, and get I couldn't get my feet untangled to get up,
Hmm.
And then Michelle came over and she helped me up, and but she said she didn't see it, but she heard it, and she turned around. And she said, "You took you a while to get up." I said, "Well, yeah, my legs were tangled up."
Uh-huh.
Anyway, and it kind of rung my bell a little bit. My
Oh,
head was
yeah.
sore, and so that was Friday. So I said, well, I think I'm just gonna. Well, and we didn't podcast, and we were gonna go do something. We didn't do it. I was like, I don't want to, Anyway, so I the next day I basically just. I mean, we went grocery shopping and stuff, but my head was bothering my neck hurt. So, and I was like, oh boy. And so it took about 4 days before I felt 100% again.
Really, you had basically a borderline concussion, pretty much.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. I'm not copping to that.
Okay. Well,
I
concussions, I mean, I mean,
I checked
obviously
to see if
they
my
they
eyes
they
were
talk about the
dilated.
NFL being, running people over concussions, basically.
Well, so my wife, about, let's see, what was it, 2 years ago? I don't know if you remember. She fell and hit her head,
I don't
and
remember that.
oh yeah, she
I don't
fell.
think. Well, that's the deal. Maybe my head isn't retaining information you've been giving me. I don't know.
I
It's
don't
hard
know.
to say if you told me or
I think
not.
I told you, but
Yeah, you
she
probably did.
fell and she tripped on a door frame going into a building. It had it
Oh
was an old
man.
building. It had a wooden floor. Had a wooden floor. But she fell and she because the way she was coming through, she hit the back of her head, and she was wearing a hair clip, and it cut her head pretty good. She had to go get staples in her head, man.
Wow.
But it was bleeding. I was like, oh, I thought
Yeah. I
your
don't know
head will
why they
bleed a
make
lot.
heads like that. Yeah, but they will bleed.
Yeah. Anyway, and then I fell. Oh gosh, how long has it been since I fell at work? Not well, I was on the clock, but I was walking between
Oh yeah.
buildings, and I was walking across the sidewalk, and it was flat, but on one end it was angled up, maybe half an inch, Ellis,
Yeah.
and it caught my toe, and
I
I just
remember this one.
couldn't get my mount.
Yeah. No, no.
I,
I mean, once it's gone, it's gone. You're down.
yeah, and I thought I hit landed on my face because I got up and my lips were just bloody. I
Oh
was
man.
like, oh my gosh. And but I later, late when something like this happens, it takes a couple days before you kind of start to get sore, and you're like, okay, that's not what happened. This is what happened.
Yes.
And what
Uh-huh.
happened was I hit my knee, and I hit my forearm, and then I hit my face. So I tried
Mm,
to stop myself. If I'd hit my arm, I may have broke my wrist. I
right.
think by hitting my knee, in fact, I still have a bruise, a kind of a red bruise on my knee where I hit it. So, um, you know, anyway, so, thankfully, as I told the guys, the Black Cricket crew, God was watching out for me that day. So, and Friday, I was speaking with the reference to Friday, and I was not seriously hurt. But it just
Yeah.
tells you how fast. I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
you could something bad can happen to you in the blink of an eye, man.
That's usually the way it happens, especially car wrecks. They're over. You're done. Here it
Yeah.
comes. Bang.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I
Curl
haven't
up.
been in that many. Yeah, just curl
Yeah,
up if you can do it.
I've been in two, and it's been years. Thankfully, I try
Yeah.
and be very.
Yeah.
I don't
Aware.
know.
Everybody out there is trying to kill you. That's always a good
Well, half
attitude.
the people I see seems like they're on their phone or smoking weed.
Oh,
So I
that's
mean,
it. Oh man, I tell you what, people on their phones are. I feel sorry for them because that's the way they're going to die. You know.
or kill somebody else.
Yeah, kill somebody else.
What are you drawing, Ellis? I like that figure drawing you're doing.
No, it's just a guy kind of hunched over and launching himself at something. I'll probably figure it out since I have no mind's eye. I can't tell you what he's doing. I'm just kidding. Uh, you know what? I've been working on that idea of a mind's eye because obviously early in the morning you are still in dream mode, and if you are bugged like I am by having no mind's eye when you are not in dream mode, this is a good time to start saying, why can I see now while I am dreaming, but I can't see when I'm conscious? And maybe try to drag it out of the dreamland into being able to do it when I'm wide
So,
awake.
when you say you don't have a mind's eye, what does that mean exactly,
Well, it
practically?
means that about 3% of the population doesn't believe that there's anybody like you that you say you can see an apple if you close your eyes,
I don't have to
that
close
you
my
that
eyes. I can see an apple. I mean,
in your mind.
no, no, no. In my mind, like if you told me to draw an apple,
You can see what you're
I could
visualizing.
look at a piece of paper and visualize the apple,
Well, I
and
can
I am
visualize it on
trace.
paper from
No,
point
no,
to point.
oh well,
Well, I mean, once I put down a line, it
no, no,
says,
no,
okay,
no, no, no. What I'm saying is, I could like looking. I could eyes open, eyes closed. I could visualize an apple,
hmm.
and
Well,
I could trace it. I mean, if I draw it, I'd be tracing it.
well, you'd be tracing what you saw in your mind. Okay, but that
Yes.
that that does I do, and there's nothing like that in my mind. And there's 3% of us apparently that.
How do you draw?
Well,
I
that's
mean,
the deal. Like I say, once
I
I've got a
mean,
line down, and once I've got the Bridgman masses up, it becomes like fairly easy to solve.
yeah,
But
but
there's nothing like this figure in my mind before I started.
but you're visualizing Bridgman, or are you just working your
No,
way? You're just working
once
your
I
way
see it
through
on
it.
paper, it's visualized. It's floating on the paper for me.
Yeah,
It's not in my mind at all.
but it's not drawn yet.
No, uh,
But you're
no.
seeing it.
I'm seeing it on paper as it emerges out of all these squiggles that I've already put
Oh,
down.
okay, okay. So you have to if you had a blank piece of paper, you can look at it and go, Well, there's like a head here, and then
Well,
there's
the
a
moment you put down a
torso.
line, yeah. The moment
But
you
I
put
mean,
down,
I'm talking
I
about
could put
before
down
you.
something, call it a pupil, the pupil of an eye, and start working out from that without ever having to visualize anything in my mind. I mean, it can go from a micro notion, but it's got to happen from
But you've got to
what?
work from a point.
Yes, yeah.
No, yeah, I'm not like that.
Yeah, no. I mean, that seems like a superpower to me to be able to see an entire scene before you begin. That's great. I would love to have that. And so that's what I'm saying. When
Well,
I'm
now hang on,
dreaming, I'm seeing
on,
things.
hang on. Let's
Okay.
not oversell it, okay?
Okay.
For example, this thing I'm drawing. Can you see this?
Uh-huh.
Can you see the whole thing?
Yeah. It looks good. I like it.
Well, I had to. I mean, I had it, and I guess if I sat here and visualized it, but I did have to put down a grid and start
Uh-huh.
building it. You know, I did
Uh-huh.
not. I did not imagine. In fact, I got some of it drawn, some of this over here, and I thought I need to put somebody in the foreground. Just and I erased like part of this. I erased like two or three people.
I don't see how you can know what you could do these days. I'm not going to be able to not do it anymore. And that is to do the roughest sketch, much rougher than this, and hand it to Grok and say,
Oh,
and say, give me what I'm obviously aimed at here. And just go ahead and paint it, and then I'd just go ahead and turn it into something that's like, oh wow, look at that, all that perspective solved, all that solved, and then
so
I'd
I
start
got
inking it.
I so at work we're getting designs that are AI made where
Uh-huh.
they want us to make like a coin or a medal or a badge, and we can't make them because they're too detailed.
Right,
In
right. It's
fact,
like,
I had to email somebody today and say we cannot produce this as the customer has it drawn, you know.
mm-hmm.
And I took their AI, ran it through Gemini, and told it to make a simplified line drawing. And I told it, and I modified it a little bit in Photoshop, ran that through Gemini again, and said, make a medallion out of this, make a bronze medallion out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And it did it. And I was like, this is more like what we can do. It took out
Mm-hmm.
all there was so much detail.
Right. Simplification is the genius part of anything. And Grok will, I've been engineering these images back and forth, and I sent you that page of public domain comic books.
Oh yeah,
I took a cover from an old comic and said, make this into an N.C. Wyeth painting.
yeah.
It did it. And then, with all that information available to it, I said, now turn that into a clean black and white drawing that would be suitable for a coloring book. And then it turned that in. And so that is a project in the back of my mind. I am going to produce a coloring book from public domain things where I've gone in and said, okay, this interests me. I'm going to make a really cool image from this and then turn it into a coloring book and see, just to see if there's any sort of market for it. Because it's going to be cool. It's going to have all the logos from, the Pulp Fiction magazine look and all that.
The what the phrase that I use, which yours is better for what you're doing, but the
Uh,
phrase I use all the time is
it was garbage.
no, suitable for an engraving,
Right. Suitable.
and which is similar to what you're saying. With
Right. Suitable for a coloring book. Uh,
that's a good. I'll have to try that and see if that works better.
try it. They produce beautiful coloring book pages.
Oh, I think half the coloring books at Walmart are made by AI. I mean, why would you?
Probably at this point.
I mean, who gives a crap about a coloring book art?
Well,
I
that's
wouldn't.
the deal. I'm fascinated by the fact that there's actually probably you'd be more likely to make more money on that than anything you do as a comic book.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of coloring books out there, dude.
Are there? Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, you might. I mean, but that was how everybody thought they were going to get,
Make money. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we know people, I'm not going to name them, but we know
Okay.
artists. If you think about it, we know artists that have gone down
Tried
the,
everything to make money
well,
because what they're trying to do for a living.
right. And it's like the coloring book is like the latest one, or I don't know about the latest one, but one of the ones that a lot of people kind of glommed onto. And I mean, our friend, the publisher, just released one.
Oh, really?
The local publisher.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
They did
Well,
one.
do we want to promote him or just leave him out
No,
there in the ether? Okay.
nah, leave them out there.
Okay.
But I mean, his wasn't AI. They actually drew it, I
Oh,
think.
oh yeah. Well, he's good about that. He wants people to feel connected to
Well, I
what
don't think
they've
it's who
done as artists.
I don't think it's who you're thinking of.
Oh, okay.
But it's his publisher.
Okay.
You know.
Oh,
Anyway,
I know who you're talking about then.
yeah,
Okay.
they
The
they've done.
only other guy I can think of. Yeah.
Yeah, they've done a coloring book just recently, but I don't know if the coloring book is still booming. Not that I mean, if you'll do one, by all means
Oh
do
yeah,
it. I
I'm going
mean,
to do one just because it's so easy and because it will have a stamp uh, from me on it to the extent it's like this is what I thought looked cool.
yeah,
Yeah. And I may even modify it. I may have to go back in and kind of have ownership on it by virtue of like, that just won't do. And I'm not going to get there by additional prompts. I'm going to have to just go ahead and do it.
I gotta draw it. Son of a
Yeah,
gun. Yeah, I use. I mean, you're. I hate to say this because a lot of people are angry about this kind of thing, but I use
yeah,
AI at work all the time. I don't
sure.
care, but you said, why don't I use it for my comics? Because I do care about my comics.
Yeah,
I don't use it. At work, I'm there to make the company money. I don't care about. I mean, I care what it looks like, but I don't. But I don't put my name on any of that stuff.
right,
So why would I care if they use AI or not?
right. Oh yeah, no,
I'm
no.
just worried about the company being profitable, so I have to
Just worried about the future in terms of like
having a
guys that
job.
used to depend on having some sort of like, we talked about how great some of the stuff I used to do in the old days of
Oh yeah, with the engraving and stuff.
sitting there with a piece of vellum and tracing over a
Oh
photograph.
yeah, yeah, I
That
know.
that's a groovy way to spend a couple hours a day while you're making money doing it. And
Oh
it's like
yeah,
it's just a
I
funny
did.
zone to be in, and
I
it
did.
beats the hell out of crawling under a house with poison, say,
Oh,
comparatively.
dude, yeah, we used to do all of our stuff like that on vellum
Mm,
and with rapidographs and and some of you trace off a photo or you draw it on paper and then ink it on, and
mhm.
I miss that. I mean, dude, I would love. I mean, if I had a time machine, my ideal job would probably be to be at some advertising agency just doing spot illustrations all day.
Sure, that'd be great. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
don't.
work from resources. Speaking of that, I'll share this right here. I got this book from the library. I'm the guy that suggested buying it, and this is me from another time period turning the pages, which just makes it interesting. There's my hand now. There's my hand from 2 days ago turning pages. Like that's fascinating. But this is a guy named George Wilson who used to do all the gold key artwork.
Really, the library
Yeah,
has that.
that library has that, and it has
Holy
all those beautiful Dell and gold key comics that you used to see. There's old Dr. Solar. I remember that cover well. That just blew my mind. And there's, of course, old Magnus Robot Fighter.
I love those
Uh,
covers.
oh, yeah, there's Dr.
I
Solar
didn't
again, I
realize
believe.
I didn't the gold
Oh,
key
sorry.
covers.
Maybe I
What are you
can.
doing?
There we go. Well, I was adjusting the. There we go. I put mute on the video. That should help.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
not making any comments. I'm just turning pages.
I didn't realize there's one person that did the gold key covers.
No, there isn't just one person. He and another guy that looked, similar to him, were trading off between Turok, Son of Stone for another. There's was probably his most classic image of the time machine. And so there's Steve Kenyon. I bet they cut up his old Milton Caniff strips and put them into comics. And of course, he was all over Tarzan,
I hope they Xeroxed them, but okay, who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows, right?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I know that's Sheldorf. That was what he was doing for a living of sorts when I visited him in San Diego and struck up an acquaintance with him that led to Tag being formed and all that stuff. Was he was
Cutting up Milton
take
Caniff? What?
he was connected to Milton Caniff because he used to do the lettering for Caniff's Steve Canyon stuff. I'm having all kind
Really?
of yes, he was the letterer, and so he arranged for what was the name of that comic company that used to package all that stuff up?
Checker.
And no, it was based in San Diego. I want to say Pacific, but I think they were a bigger,
Was it
classier
was
outfit.
it was it Eclipse?
Nope. Oh, it'll come to me or some. I'll add it to the, the
Yeah,
links
to the feed.
below.
Yeah, yeah. Stay
Well,
tuned, folks.
maybe like Blackstone or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.
Oh,
Let me
I know
see
who
who
you're talking
put
about.
out.
They did like two Frazetta comics.
Yeah, and so anyway, by this intimacy with Milton Caniff, he was able to actually ask Milt, could he take old strips? Oh, you know who he actually knew really well? He was hand lettering Caniff, but he was able to get with Chester Gould
Oh,
and repackage all the old Dick Tracy's. So that was a big deal at the day in back in the day.
man, I got a book. I was at the bookstore. God, those covers are nice looking.
Yeah, aren't they?
I love that because they're not,
They're all gouache on board for the most part.
really.
Yes. When they say board, I assume they
It's
mean
illustration
illustration board
board.
board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not board. Yeah, I don't think you'd gouache on board.
No, you'd want it very sturdy.
Yeah. The I forgot what I was going to say. Oh well. Dude, I thought this panel I'm doing would take me all evening, but I'm done with it, I think.
Oh, your mind was focused.
I just blasted through it. But you know what's funny is I had trouble getting into this, and then all of a sudden, man, last night it just clicked. I put on my headphones, I was listening to music, and it just clicked. I gotta make up fake names for these things though. I want to put the lettering for the thing on. What's the name? What if you were
Gladstone was the name of the comic book company that Dorf was
Gladstone?
working with.
Okay.
Look at that, Mighty Samson bringing the pillars down,
Oh,
and
nice.
also
When I
some.
was a kid, I entered a talent con. Oh, that's so cool. I want to read or I want to watch Hercules. Oh, that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow morning. I'm gonna watch Hercules and
What's
Hercules Unbound.
Unchained. That's important.
Unchained.
He was all chained up and used the chains to kill every guy in sight. In the last film, in Hercules, he
Uh,
was he was deadly with those chains, which was cool.
yes,
I think Mario Baba was semi-involved in them. Some of them.
yes. First two he was, I believe.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay, so back to Samson.
Uh-huh.
So my church, the denomination, not my individual, not my local congregation, but the denomination has a youth extravaganza every year. It's kind of orientated around the college, but you have a talent show, and I drew a picture of Samson pulling down the pillars one
That's
time.
a good one. That's a superhero of his day.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Now was it good? I don't know. It was a drawing. It wasn't a painting. Well, I remember one year I entered, and the guy that won,
Turok. Go ahead.
the guy that won the whole thing for the district did a straight up rip of the Burroughs book cover, the Frazetta cover for the Burroughs book. I think it's Outlaw of Torn that's got a knight on it. And
Yes.
he's just charging on a horse,
Yes.
and they ate that up, and nobody had a clue except for me. And I was a kid. What am I gonna do? Rat this guy out? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I did not get very far, but he went all the way with his. And we had a guy like that in college, that everything he did was a rip. We're doing like ads and stuff, and he's doing reasonable rip. Like we did an ad for Remington Park. We could do an ad for Remington Park or one of the museums or something. I did the firefighter museum. I don't know why. I drew a fire truck. He did one for Remington Park that was like a rip-off of a Frazetta painting with horses charging. And, and everything he did was like a rip-off. It's like, dude.
Well, you know what? I love this George Wilson's artwork, but I tell you what, it's obvious he is completely bound to reference. He's got to have the photo shoot intact, etc. And that's what determines how good the piece is. It's like, did I have enough reference for this, or did I have to invent something? Because anytime he's got to invent something, all of a sudden it's like his rubbery looking dinosaurs. He wasn't very good at dinosaurs.
Oh,
That's what it reminds me of. Some of the lower budget dinosaur movies of the day
Oh, yeah.
that were out. It's like George said to himself, "That's good enough."
That'll
Now
work.
this is where he did his masterpieces, the Twilight Zone stuff.
Oh, yeah. That was
Twilight
a little
Zone
more
and
abstract.
yeah. He could get into saying, "Let's play with this." Let me do a painting here. I'm surprised I didn't dip deeper into some of what Golke was doing within Boris Karloff. He was obviously a guy that, he didn't, I don't think he did too many movie posters. There's nothing in here anyway. He had an interesting military career of being one of those guys that is trying to convince the Germans that we've got more goods on the ground than we actually have. He was part of the corps that was in camouflage that went out there and did balloon,
Tanks.
howitzers and tanks and stuff.
From before D-Day?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, he was one of those guys.
He was one of the guys at Calais.
Yeah.
They were trying to convince them that they were coming across at Calais, I think it was. And so they made all those fake tanks and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, he's somebody deeply involved in that. That was they call him the ghost artist because that's what he's doing. He's making ghost munitions.
Okay, I'm done with this panel, Ellis.
Excellent. You want me to
Yeah,
big?
Yeah.
Let me
What's the name
stop
of this
this
book?
for a second. This is called The Art of George Wilson.
George Wilson. Okay.
If you were from my era, you would know you could remember from Dennis the Menace. That's the name of.
That's the neighbor's name, isn't it?
Yeah. George Wilson.
If Dan were on here,
he would know that. Oh, Dan is on here.
Oh, he's going, I wrote a script for Dennis.
And hey, guys, just checking in. What's the book, Ellis? The Art of George Wilson. You probably just heard that.
Yes. Because
Art of George Wilson. I'll have to remember that.
Dan has sold several Dennis gags.
Ah, really?
Yep.
Cool.
It's like Ellis's dream job.
Yeah.
Every job is my
if
dream
you
job.
can write a joke, we talk about Dan writing puns.
No. Don't encourage Dan. Don't encourage Dan. I am teasing Dan.
That's a talent. No, that's in a writer's room, coming up with jokes. No, I used to do gags for Dennis. How about that? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm done. What do you think?
Well, let me solo it. Wait a second. I forgot. That's what we were trying to do here.
Yes.
There we go. You're soloed. Cool.
Yeah.
Groovy. Gladstone. You put that, you decided to just add that.
I was trying to think of a name to put on that sign, and you said it was Gladstone Comics. I go,
And all of a
that's
sudden,
it.
Kaiser Soze was emerged. I'm
What?
working over Kaiser Soze from oh, what's the name of that stupid movie? Dan, help me. Uh,
He's working overtime.
yeah. Yep.
Oh, Dan went from not working to working overtime.
Well,
He's
that's good.
Dan is
We're just talking about
a,
jobs
a
disappearing.
yeah, no, Dan is a test scorer. He
Hmm.
scores aptitude test for the School of Gifted Youngsters. I don't know, Xavier's or something. No, it's national test.
It always makes
Anyway,
me feel being gifted at all makes me think of Gary Larson, the guy
oh my gosh.
pulling on, no, pushing on the pull.
Oh, well, I thought you meant Gary Larson. Period,
Yeah.
because I've got a Far Side calendar at work, and apparently, whatever year, I guess it was 77 or 70 or 86, they did a Far Side calendar. He trains mutants, yes, and so I bought one. It's one of those page a day. Oh, it's
Uh,
so hilarious, and I've been giving them to this girl that never seen Gary Larson at work, and
uh-huh.
she is just they're hilarious. But I tell her it makes me sad because even me, as jaded as I am about this sort of thing, I look at it, I'm like, you could not publish these today. There'd be no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. I
I mean,
just,
it's you know.
there's lots of stuff that, is of its time that, eventually may become like, oh, why did we ever think Bob Hope and Bing Crosby were funny? That sort of thing has
Yeah,
happened already.
right.
It's like you couldn't get anybody to sit still and watch a old road picture. But
Oh, I bet
yeah,
you could get Dan
I
to.
think you're all.
Dan would.
Yeah, I would too probably. But you can always make people laugh. I think with a Larson cat cartoon. I think from now on, I'm just guessing you will be able to.
Well, but you couldn't publish that in the paper now.
Yeah, a guy in front looking shocked. What about giving him a gag T-shirt? Okay, sure, come up
Okay.
with it. Like
Come.
lady scientists have chemistry. That's too many words.
Yeah, that's too many words. You're
Too.
trying too hard, Dan. How about we're neutrons we attract? Or is it
There you go.
electrons? Electrons. The but so like the Gary Larson stuff, I mean, it really does make me realize how far we've devolved as a
Yeah.
society. Because just like, oh gosh, this would never happen. You'd never. And I mean, and that's the thing is, none of that is like offensive.
No,
I mean,
no.
some
You'd have
of
to
it.
work at being offended.
Well, it was just, it's like it was a time period. Like my favorite story like this is he said he turned in a cartoon one time, and
Yeah, he's
the
got great stories about that. His relationship with
yeah,
the accuracy once he turned them in. Yeah.
so the his joke revolved around somebody calling somebody a dork. And
Uh-huh.
they said, you can't do that. And he goes, what? What are you talking about? We called each other dorks all the time when we were a kid. And apparently, dork is officially slang for penis.
Uh-huh. Right.
And he's like, I never knew that. We
No, I
called each
did
other
not.
dorks all the time. And I'm
I
like,
did not know that.
yeah. Anyway.
That's funny. Yeah, I love all his stories about turning stuff in that got messed up by the people that put it into the
Oh,
paper.
yeah.
And it's it's just so funny to think about him sitting there saying, "Oh, let's check the paper, see what they did to me," and then realize, wait a minute,
Yeah, what
that's
the?
not what I wrote.
I did not write
Not for
this.
this one anyway. They've got the wrong gag attached to the wrong cartoon, and yet, amazingly, it still works.
Yeah, well, so there's one of his where a fortune teller is looking at a crystal ball, and she's telling him, "I see your head petrified on a display in a museum." And it got that caption got switched with the dentist cartoon next to it, And then Dennis is sitting at the table and he's looking at his mom.
Yeah, yeah, that sort of stuff is better than outtakes from the movies. Yeah,
Yep. Hey, I'm on page 2. Excellent.
excellent.
Oh, Dan heard my tell a woe about the tire. God.
Oh, he did.
Yes. Yeah. Or I know it. Well, I told him about falling, so he knows that. But
Don't trust Adams. Oh, that's a good one. Well, don't
don't
trust
trust
Adams. They make up everything. I like it.
Let me see how much room's on this shirt.
No, no.
You only see half of it though. That's the only problem. You know what? He can think about it and tell the letterer to do it.
Hey, yeah, tell the letterer to do it. Cram that on there.
Let me think about that. I may come up with a gag. I'll ask Chat GTP to write a gag.
There you go.
Write a gag that's corny enough for Dan Johnson.
Oh, man. You're going to unleash something there.
Yeah, we'll put something on there. I'm okay with that. What's crazy is I just turned in all my movies at the library this morning, and now
I'm watching some cool movies.
What are you watching?
I just watched for the very first time Network. See if all the hype is worth the hype. And
you've never seen Network?
Never seen Network.
Wow, that's amazing. I've seen something you hadn't seen.
Yeah. It's like I don't know why I thought I needed to avoid that because I have to have avoided it, not to have seen it by now. But yeah, so. Patty Chayefsky, he's going to write you a very intelligent, very fun thing to watch. And that certainly was very fun and very intelligent. No AI, you'll get us canceled. On a serious note, do make the filthy duo don't look too much like the dirty pair. I'm not sure what that refers to.
Well, that's the two girls in the middle. He thinks they look
okay. Too much.
Hang on. He sent me reference. They have different colored hair.
It's funny. George Wilson is, he's from that era where every artist worth anything that around that, I guess, the New York area was using Steve Holland. The guy that
Mr. or something, yeah.
He was used for Doc Savage, his face and his body, because obviously he wasn't just hugely muscular, but you could see every muscle in his body.
Oh yeah,
he had his muscle fat ratio was just perfect.
Well. So at work we do the Mr. Olympia trophy, right? And I actually sculpted it. We made it, and I did it in ZBrush, and I did it it's called the Sandow. The guy's name. If
lawyers get involved, I don't know either of you guys. You don't want to get Ben sued. And if lawyers are involved, I don't know either of you.
Okay. Ben won't get sued. Anyway, he's talking about the AI, or not the AI, but the filthy pair, which it's not my fault or the filthy duo, not the filthy pair. Anyway, Sandow, if you ever want to see somebody that's like old school kind of ripped, he looks like Tarzan, man.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't like mine because it looked like him, but they said, we want a modern physique on him because now those guys are so cut.
Oh, Sandow. Yeah. The old bodybuilder. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's funny that you have a name in mind for what is peak fitness for that era. Yeah, Sandow.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean,
it's the body a man wants. Yeah,
the body that started the fitness craze.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you saw that, Scott. He said, "Got to run. Have a good night."
Oh,
so Dan's out of here.
Okay, well, that's too bad, but I get it.
Do without him.
We have to. We'll struggle on without.
Have to create my own trivia.
The great Dan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I talked. He called me this week, and I talked to him for a little bit. When you say a little bit with Dan, it's
Yeah, yeah.
it's a conversation.
You cover it. Yep.
Yeah, it's okay. It was good. I enjoyed talking to Dan. I wish, because I think he's more readily available in the daytime. So
Hmm.
I wish I could talk to him in the daytime.
Well, it does sound like right at the moment he's busy. So,
Yeah, he does. Like I said, he grades those tests, and when they're busy, and when they're not busy, he's like, hey. He has called me and during the day on Fridays occasionally. It's always a good conversation.
I'll just go back to turning pages on my George Wilson art on the side until one of us. Look at that Dracula over there. Ooh,
Oh,
Spector. I remember that. That was ahead of its time.
I wonder what that
Doctor.
Dracula cover is. Probably one of the Hammer adaptions or
Well, it
something.
could be this Doctor Spector. He went places where, and then at the end of it, it kind of sputters out because it does stuff that obviously is great little magazine illustrations or whatever, but it's specifically military stuff, where he's doing poster art for,
Oh yeah.
it's fantastic images, but maybe not genre quite. There's Holland again. There he is up there holding the AK.
Oh yeah. I wonder what that Nazi thing is.
Yeah, see, that may be a movie poster. Like, yeah, obviously down at the bottom, it's explaining everything. Oh, and it's beautiful annotated like that. It tells you everything, and it does say things like wash on board. Now, every now and then, one will be called, and not even every now and then, there's probably 30% of them that say multimedia, but I'm sure the gouache is part of the media, and then he's coming in with a pencil and this and that to make it
Oh
into a
yeah.
multimedia. He's probably always using gouache and acrylic, you know.
Yeah.
And Joe Jusko, that great artist,
Yeah.
he has one of the introductions about what a big influence this Wilson guy was to him.
Oh really?
Hmm.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So there, it's in the library because
Of
I
Ellis.
said buy it for me,
Is it
and
in the
they did
library?
it.
Is it
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah. I've
library
returned it.
now?
I've returned it.
Oh, is it in the library by you, or they just randomly throw it in some other
I don't
library?
know. It's just in the system. I don't know.
I
So
will
yeah.
I will get it transferred after we get off here.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Some of those are kind of nice. Those look like
Yeah,
magazine
this is
illustrations.
romance. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's doing romance covers.
Yeah, yeah. He switched from the military to
Oh yeah.
a conversation over lunch. Yeah, yeah. So it's got a lot to read too. It's got interesting stuff to read. He's got, like everybody, he's had an interesting life. It'd be a rare exception not to have had a semi-interesting life after all.
I'm
You
doing
know.
my best.
Yes. What? Yeah, and that network has got, on the level it works at, it's an emotional trip you go on and you go, yes, sadly, this is true about the cynicism that goes on when you're following the money. It's like, oh well, we have all given ourselves over to it. The corporate thing is our master now, and we decided that was for the best, and that's where we're at. I've got to take that off now. Remove from stage. So I just had the idea of like, I'm going to have a two-gun ray gun, bubble-headed spaceman.
There you go. I can't wait to see it painted.
Yeah, it will be painted quickly. That'll be the fast part. I'll say, Grok, give this to me in NC Wyeth thinking. And I recently and I labeled it sacrilege when I posted it in on X. I said, a Bernie Wrightson masterpiece, sacrilege, fed to Grok, sacrilege. It was that one of those great Bernie Wrightson Frankenstein's, where he's in among all the glass beakers. And what Grok did is just it's actually kind of simple because it did a color hold on all the black and white line art and then started blending down. And what,
But I don't think it works that way.
you don't think it works that way?
No, because it's not using Photoshop.
Mm-mm.
I
No,
think
yeah,
it.
I
I
asked it
think
what
it.
it was using. Yeah, one time. Yeah.
I think it just looks at the image and it just generates it.
Wow. That would be
I
even
mean,
more
I mean,
impressive.
you talk about color hold. It's there's nothing to hold because it's generating everything. Well, I guess in NASA it was, but it's still even it because if you took that and you laid it, you printed it out or you put it into Photoshop and you laid it under the other one, it would not be the same proportions.
You think it would change
Oh,
slightly, huh?
100%. Because
Okay.
it generates it new.
Hmm. Okay.
Because I've tried to do that at work. I've tried to get line art and color art
And
to
it to
line
stay,
up
yeah, to
and it
register
won't
up.
do it. And I do a lot of metals I'll be like, "No, show me what this looks like as a bronze medal." And they're never round, not perfectly round. They'll look round, but then it's like,
Yeah. You won't be able to use it as
no,
a
it's
precision tool, period. Okay.
no. Well, it's not vectored, so
Yeah.
it's not like it's got any tool path.
Hmm. Well, that's, I have been, oh man, I've been drinking in all these tech videos and bookmarking them and all that. It's like, oh, this is exciting,
Oh yeah, about
and I'll never follow up on 99% of it, but some of what they've got out there, what it says to me is like an extremely lazy guy doesn't have to become bogged down with all those things that keep him from producing. It's like, automate this, do that. And to me, it sounds like we're going to get some cool stuff coming down the pike. I could look at storytelling done in the generated images like I have been generating. Now, some of this stuff, they had one of those comics gate feuds that were going on with that Eric July guy
yeah.
because he apparently had some, you know, simple AI stuff that was being generated to fill in, for their production on their comics. And it's like, and that was much more, that was back a few weeks ago
Yeah.
where, by the day, it's more and more controversial as you move backward in time. It's like they were ready to lynch people for using AI. And at this point, I think everybody's realizing they've talked themselves into trying it or whatever. And it's like, hey, that's kind of cool, and that's where it's going. Everybody's going to say, okay, I get it. It's here, you know. And it's just like learning that Photoshop, I can remember a lot of guys like Doug is all for a lot of these extra tools nowadays, but I remember him, he was very disparaging of
Photoshop.
the typical digital painting. He says, oh, they
Oh.
all look alike. And they did. You use the same sort of approaches to producing something that looked vaguely like a painting, a traditional painting. You all look like Craig Mullins back in the day. That was the
That was
ideal.
yeah. Well, yeah, I remember seeing Photoshop. A guy at my work went to a Photoshop seminar and he
Hmm.
he had done something. I don't remember if he imported a photo, but he had made kind of a Star Wars kind of scene with some of the TIE fighters. And we were
Hmm.
just like, "Holy cow, what in the world? What did you do?"
Says I brought it in to a layer and filtered it.
I don't know if they even had layers at that point, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't know when layers were introduced in the photo. There's online somewhere I've seen like this big history of Photoshop. That's
Oh, I'd like to
interesting.
see that. It would be interesting because I was flummoxed by how why anyone would like it. I was using something called the Deluxe Animator. It's like I thought that was a better painting tool than Photoshop, and I was not an early adopter.
Oh yeah, we had Photoshop pretty early. We used Photoshop. Well, at the paper before I got out of school, we were using. I think we used MacDraw, and then I think we used something called Cricket Draw to lay out the ads.
Hmm.
And it was a vector program, but we didn't draw anything
Oh,
as
that's
such.
cool. You got an early introduction to using vectors, huh?
Yeah, it was mostly text and shapes. There was not a lot of drawing, if
I rem
any.
I
Sorry.
remember. I know it was my fault. I talked over you, but I had Joe Chido ask me for what I thought he had been kind of commissioned to research the coloring, and he ended up doing a lot of color for the Image Comics, but he'd been commissioned to figure out what the best software approaches for doing the coloring were. And I laid on him my little expertise. I said, "Whoa, it's always going to be too memory heavy to do anything but vector art for your color." And of course, it very quickly it became no, no, no. We got plenty of memory for that because I used to thought of a megabyte back in the day was a megabyte. It's like,
Yeah,
oh geez,
yeah, yeah.
this file's getting big.
I still think a megabyte's kind of big,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, it's not prohibitively big like it used to be.
Mm.
Yeah, man, I can't believe I ruined my tire today, Ellis.
Oh God, I hate that because it's like things you spend money on. I want to spend my money on blueberries, even though they're ungodly high right at the moment, and maybe we'll stay that way for all time. But I don't want to buy a tire.
Yeah, there's nothing
Buy something that
enjoyable.
gives me pleasure. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
enjoyable.
Well, I kind of was at the point where I almost needed tires, so
Well, talk about joy, maybe. I mean, a guy could, the mind is always like, anytime you're having a hard time, the mind, you could always say, I need to have some mind over matter here, because that's all I have to do is like convince myself I'm having a great time, and
it'll
I
be
will
great
be.
having new
Yeah,
tires. There you go.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I will say this: if it was going to happen, today wasn't a bad day because I can take off tomorrow, and I'm really only going to miss about an hour of work. Wasn't going to go downtown anyway, or was thinking about not going downtown. So now I can get up and chill out, work on comics, draw,
Uh-huh.
read, whatever I want to do until whenever. I got all morning free.
Very good.
My appointment's at 2. I kind of wish I'd have done the 1 o'clock one now, but oh well.
I got a new setup where I bought a C clamp, and that is it's a much simpler design for these these Luxo lamp
Oh yeah.
flexible arm lamps. It's pretty good, cool, and it's a real sturdy hold. And I've got my camera in a very nice locale over my art here. Makes me want to do something more with
Man, I've been doing my
streaming.
5-minute figure drawing videos, and they've been going over pretty well.
Oh, cool. Now,
My
see, I need to do a little something like that.
Well, don't steal my idea.
Well, no, there's only about 99 million people on YouTube doing that kind of
Doing the
thing.
exact same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You can just
I've
be
got
joining the
people.
crowd.
I got people making requests now, which is kind of nice.
Ooh, that'd be neat.
Yeah.
That'd give me some dopamine.
Yeah.
Make a request. That I had a guy that was kind of a fan of mine on Tumblr, And I was a fan of his. It was a mutual like society. He
Yeah.
would he would have little dream sequences he would describe in his little Tumblr posts with maybe some sort of graphic that went with it. But he wants me to do, little commissions for him for, it sounds like role playing kind of art. I can't believe anybody's even thinking about paying anybody money for that sort of thing nowadays. Of course, with the abilities people have with AI, it's like, come on, do a sketch and tell AI to give you Norman Rockwell. You can
Well,
do
he
it.
he probably doesn't have the ability to make himself a sketch.
Yeah, maybe not.
I mean, that's what I would guess. And maybe he doesn't want AI. Maybe he wants a Ellis
Yeah,
original.
something hand done. I won't be able to help myself once I've done the sketch to not run it through AI and show him what he could have instead.
Are you doing a sketch or a painting?
I will do. He wants to pay very little, and and I agreed to like con sketch prices for him, and you know, about $10 an image, and
Oh,
he showed me a an example of something I posted on Tumblr that it's maybe me cheating myself if I go to that level of detail he's shown up
paying
as an
for.
example. Yeah. But, we'll see. But he actually posted that he was more thinking about like more money than I mentioned. So, maybe there is some money to be made in it. I don't know.
Make the deal up front.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Got to be making it. Oh, that's all. I don't draw enough anymore.
Now that's your fault.
Yeah, I know it.
I mean, you know,
I did have we are at 56 minutes. I did have a breakthrough on Gemini giving me some word balloons, and I realized, oh my gosh, I can have those word balloons that have been holding me up for so long. But what I have to do, and I even asked it to help me on that. I asked for a little brevity on what I had written, and it did an okay job, but I'm still have to going to go in by hand and make it. Oh God, some of the anatomy on this is like, Jiminy Christmas. Okay. Um, anyway, I guess we're done. 57 minutes, Scott.
okay.
You think that's enough?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Get
Yeah,
that George
thanks.
Wilson book.
Yeah, I'm gonna not the library one though. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna
Since we
reserve it.
uh, since we went to the trouble of running that whole thing, I'm going to have my own version of that on my other channel that makes me money.
There you
Okay.
go.
Okay. Clicking that button.